Serena.
And I'm Rachel.
We're the hosts of Book Tales.
If you like reading books,
drinking cocktails,
and Scottish accents,
then meet your new favourite podcast.
Come with us as we explore different themes from romantasy to horror and everything in between.
We pair each book with a bespoke cocktail and tell you everything you'll need to make one.
And each week, play our fun game tailored to each book.
Find Book Tales wherever you get your podcasts. So grab your book,
grab your booze
for Book Tales.
Hi guys, I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli. This is Offscript.
If you think about it, books are potential scripts for movies.
When this adaptation happens, typically it's disappointing because they went off script.
In this series, we will be talking about how off script they went.
Hello.
And welcome
to Offscript,
the podcast
where we compare books and movies.
Yes. And we are today comparing His Dark Materials, the Amber Spyglass, to the TV show.
I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli.
And that's the episode we're doing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We are on season 9, episode 3.
Trekking along.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How's your birthday month going?
I already know, fucking busy as fuck.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the first week, Nee and Ty are in town from the 31st to the 7th.
Fine.
And we are seeing them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, not Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday. Here, let me just look at my fucking calendar. That'll help me let you know. No, of course, Nee's not hanging out with me on Monday. So, not seeing her then. So, I see them. So, John and I have Spider-Man tomorrow, Wild Waves. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man tomorrow, game night Friday, Wild Waves Saturday. Sunday, we're walking, and I think we should do our grocery shopping for Westport. I know that's fucking early, but
that's way early.
But for me and you to have our schedules aligned.
True.
Yeah.
And I guess we're getting like frozen stuff, right?
Exactly. The majority of it is frozen or like box like crepe mix.
Okay.
Things
if
like
we need
that.
any fresh stuff, we'll just stop on the way or whatever.
Stop at that grocery store that we always go to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the big
that
stuff, we should do that Sunday after our walk because I don't know when the fuck else we'll do it. Monday, we're recording another episode. Mm-hmm. So we see them Tuesday, Wednesday. John and I have dinner with Katie and Ellen Thursday. Friday, we have Arkham Horror. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, that Saturday I am free. I'm planning on doing Blender stuff, which is the 3D animation thing.
Okay.
But maybe we could do grocery shopping then, but that is also a Saturday.
No, that's our fusion
Yep.
big event that day. So I'm busy from dawn to dusk.
Yep. And then, did I tell you that my mom's car is doing the thing that Justin just had to fix on my car?
No way.
Yeah, so now Justin's fixing my mom's car.
Oh my gosh.
So on the 9th, he's coming over. I meant to invite you way sooner, but if you want, you can come over and play board games with us because my mom wants to thanks, Justin. So we're doing barbecue and games.
Fun.
Yeah. So if you're free the 9th, great. If you're not, don't stress.
Oh, I am not free the 9th.
Okay. And then things slow down. But then it's Westport.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come back and things are slow again. And then it's my birthday week.
Oh.
But yeah, so busy, then slows down. Then it's my birthday. Then it's fall.
I know. I'm I went to Hobby Lobby. Why did I go into Hobby Lobby? Oh, because I promised the kids, they like their little fidgets. They have fidgets in there. And oh my gosh, all their fall stuff was out. And I was started like a moth to a flame. And Riley's like, no,
yep.
No. She helped me save a bunch of money.
Smart, because I swear I'm the same way. But also I feel like they keep putting it out sooner and sooner and sooner and sooner.
I
I'm
know.
like, can we still enjoy summer? Like,
Right? Like one more month. Come on. Give me one. I love fall. Fall is my favorite, but don't stop it.
Yep. Yep.
Oh gosh. Well, all right. That was a good picture.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. I don't think we have any trigger warnings for this.
I don't think so either. But in episode 2, we went trucking along, and then we got to a part where you're like, "Oh, here's a trigger warning." So
yep,
we'll see if that happens again.
I'll try and catch myself before I say things. All right. So our synopsis is, as Lyra and Will's journey reaches its climax, they find themselves at the center of the cosmic conflict involving life, death, and the nature of consciousness itself. Pursued across worlds by powerful forces determined to control dust, they must confront devastating truths about authority, sacrifice, and love. Their choices ultimately shape the fate of all worlds, forcing them to decide what it truly means to grow up and take responsibility for existence itself.
Sorry, I put in a new nose ring.
Yeah.
And nose rings are annoying, or at least the ones that I have right now, because they're like the twist ones. So like they don't fully close. Yeah. And so wherever that edge is always hurts my hole. So I try to find it. But the new one that I just put on, it like I'm able to get it closed so well that I can never find the edge until it's
a good thing
hurting.
You said that, because your camera's kind of blurry right now, and so it looks like you're picking your nose.
I'm fixing my nose ring. That's hilarious.
I wasn't going to judge, but we're on video now.
No, that's why I said it. I was like, I probably look like I'm just so focused on it. But it's also because, so here's another picture. The nose ring that I had in before this one, it's weird because it's the same size. I didn't go smaller, like closer to my nose in the nose ring or whatever. But that edge would sometimes get stuck in the piercing part, so in my skin, and it would hurt like a bitch to like get it out. And so that's partially why I wanted to change the nose ring. I was like, okay, I'm sick of having that happen. So I just changed this one. But now this one, I was able to get it pretty like close to the end of itself. And so I have such a hard time finding the edge of it. And I'm always like, oh my God, is it going to hurt trying to get it through my skin?
Right.
But then I find it and it's not anywhere near it. Oh, look, yeah, that's in my nose right now. It's fine. It's okay.
That's awesome. All right. Continuing.
There's a verbal and an actual picture for you guys.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we have author Sir Philip Pullman, director Amit Gupta. Warankia.
I bet you that's Veronica still.
You think so?
Because her name might be German, and I'm pretty sure in German the W's are pronounced V.
Yeah. Okay. Veronica Tofiliska. Sounds Russian. Tofiliska.
I know. That's
but I don't know Russian or German, so
maybe I'm incorrect with the pronunciation of her name.
Who knows? And then we got Charles Martin. I can do that one.
Easy.
Screenplay writer is Jack Thorne, with contributions from Francesca Gardner and others.
Nice.
Our book came out October 10th, 2000. The show came out December 5th, 2022. That's 22 years different.
Tell me why I still in my head had it that these books came out forever ago. So 2000, I'm sitting here like, what? That was like recent.
It is forever ago, technically.
Shh. To me, it's, I guess the first book was 95, huh? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Our whole lives ago.
Yeah, God dang.
All right, what do you do first?
I watched the show first.
I read the book first.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your thoughts of this section, season 3 and book 3?
It feels like, again, I feel like they didn't follow the same story. So it just feels like different, what are they called? different. It feels like a different, what am I trying to say, Allie? The
Like writing style or
No, not writing style. Like
story?
in the story, there's always something that they have to tackle, and it's called
quest?
No, that's not what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Oh my god, good thing I'm not in like an English class right now. I'd be failing. What the fuck is it called?
Can't help it.
It's so far gone. I'm gonna spend too long trying to figure out what it's called. Anyways, it feels like we went from Lyra wanting to figure out what dust is to Lyra getting a relationship with this kid with the subtle knife. And so then they're just using the subtle knife. And then this one, it just feels like I guess we kind of have finally gotten dust, right? But Lyra went into the other world with this whole, like, we need to prove that dust is good. And then left it there and was like, oh yeah, we just all have dust. This is just what it is.
This is just it. Yep.
Yeah. And this one felt bigger, and it felt like, it also felt kind of, like, I want to say stuff without giving stuff away. It feels like some of the characters didn't get information that they should have got before certain things happened. And so then it becomes this like cataclysmic thing at the end where it's like, isn't this something they should have known beforehand?
Anyway, so I'm gonna piggyback on that, and I agree that it was like felt like it just didn't feel like the three of them flowed together.
Yeah,
and so whereas like I think we mentioned this last episode, where in like Series of Unfortunate Events or Harry Potter or Twilight, they kind of give us a little previously on like back episode.
I don't even need something like that. I just need something that like, I remember when this happened.
Yes.
And it
continues.
Book. Yeah.
And it just didn't. It was like the characters were the same and everything, but it did feel like its own thing for sure.
I literally, the start of this starts with Lyra passed out, and I was so fucking confused. Not that I missed that she got taken, but like, it's like one sentence at the end of the book, of book 2, where I totally spaced, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Where is she? Why are we now just completely jumped? So yeah.
Fair. Okay. So we keep going?
Yeah, let's.
And why did we pick it?
Because, of course, we had to. Like, could you imagine if I just did 1 and 2? Left us without 3. I can't do the third one, guys. Sorry.
Yep. All right, here's some super fun facts. During the title sequence at roughly 30 seconds, you can see a knife in Lyra's silhouette. As the camera retracts, it goes through an amber glass disc. This refers to the subtle knife and Amber Spyglass.
That's one of my favorite parts of the opening sequence.
Yep. Deborah Forte is a producer of the series. She previously worked on the Golden Compass movie.
Wow. That's cool.
Despite the source material adaptation into stage play, radio play, and feature film, this will be the first time an adaptation of this novel has had a female director attached as Dawn Shadforth. Yep.
That's cool.
And that's all I got for you today.
That's perfect.
Let's do it.
Let's.
Okay. Book kicks off. We're in a cave, and we find out it's with Mrs. Coulter, and she's kidnapped Lyra. And Lyra is under the spell where she's in like this deep sleep. And there are all the local people, because she's kind of up in the mountains. So the local people in the nearby village are kind of spooked by her. They think she's like a scary witch or whatever. But there's this, yes, right. There's this one little girl that visits, and she gave her confidence. She's like, oh, she's not evil. She's a mom. And she's there because, of course, Mrs. Coulter gave her this huge lie about how her daughter is under the spell by an evil emperor and all this sort of stuff. And the little girl left, and her Mrs. Coulter and her demon are trying to be like, are we crazy by doing this? Like, is this bad? The magisterium is going to be pissed off.
In the TV show, when Lyra is kidnapped with her mom, Lyra keeps waking up and talking to Mrs. Coulter the whole time, which I was like, girl, you're supposed to be passed the fuck out. Like,
under this
almost
deep,
like,
deep
oh
spell.
no, is she going to wake up? Yeah, no, that's not the case in the show. Also, as we've already mentioned in previous episodes, but I'll say it again here. Pan just keeps having full-on conversations with Mrs. Coulter and is like, please let us go. You're not this evil. You must let us go.
Even though I'm pretty sure if Lyra's passed out, Pan's also passed out, but he is not in the show.
Yep. And that's what I'll say here.
Okay. So this was kind of cool. In between every chapter, Lyra has a quick 20-second conversation with Roger, who, was killed in the first book.
Cool.
Yep. And so,
which also, can we just talk about this for a second? If this was such a big death to her, why didn't she talk about it more in the second book?
At all. I think she mentioned it once, my friend Roger died and it was my fault. And that's all she said.
So then to come into book 3 and she just keeps talking to Roger, I'm like, how? Why? I get it. He was your best friend. But you didn't seem that sad last book.
Yeah. It was very random, I feel like. So we have Will, and he's hanging out with his angel friends. I don't remember their names. Start with B. I don't know. Barth?
Shoot, yeah.
Bartholomew. Barth something.
No.
Nope, that wasn't it. Bart.
It was Bar something.
Something.
Perilous?
I don't know. He has his angel friends. And he's very adamant that he is here for Lyra, and he doesn't care what their plans are, because their plans are to take him to Lord Asriel. And finally they're like, fine, we'll help you get Lyra, and then we gotta go. So they're adventuring and they gotta stay away from people. And this one of the angels goes off to try and find where Lyra is, and Will and his other angel buddy are here, and they are doing their thing. They're just trying to stay away, and they're the angel guy turns into pets, to pretend he's a demon and just to stay hidden and all this sort of stuff.
Will does hang out with his angel friends, but I don't remember them turning into pets. I don't
think they did.
Yeah.
They just disappeared. So. Yeah.
Yeah. They just kind of went. I think it was to not confuse us, but
I guess, but
yeah.
I wasn't confused in the book.
That's true.
All right. So the other angel friend comes back, and he's like, I know where they are. They're in this layer over there. And while he was gone, Will noticed that they are in love with each other. These two angels, pure love. And it was just so cute. And so Will's been, so the angel drew a map in the dirt, and Will traced it for where Lyra is. And, he's asking them about the land of the dead. He's like, hey, my dad died. I'm wondering, can people come back from it? How does this all work? And he's also learning more about the knife, and that it can cut through he already knows it can cut through worlds, but more detail on specific worlds, like the land of the dead, for example. But then there's this huge battle that breaks out, and this person that's attacking, Will was able to battle him off really easily because he was also an angel. But angels are weak compared to people because they don't have bodies. And so he finds out the truth about God, too, that he is an angel, but he claims to have created everything, Metatron or whatever his name is. And that's just not true. And he's awful and evil and blah, 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 blah. And angels are made out of dust. So that's what all dust is. They're little angel spirits and stuff. And Will is pissed off, and he doesn't want to keep going because he wants to find Lyra. And he's like, you guys are not helping me. You found me the map. Great. We got to get there. And one angel said, fine, I will go tell Lord Asriel that we're going to find Lyra. You guys keep looking. And the angels stayed back with him. This is where he transforms and becomes a demon and all.
Well, look, I actually have Balthamus is his name, the angel's name.
There we go.
Pretty much that all happens, but I think I need to talk because in the show, we keep going back to Mrs. Coulter and Lyra because that's obviously Lyra's the main character, so it's not going to just completely keep away from her like the book does. And so we keep going to her, and she keeps waking up, and Lyra even keeps getting out of bed and trying to escape on her own. And then Mrs. Coulter's little deaf friend, who's the little girl who's like, oh, she's a mom, she's fine, she's not going to hurt us. She sees her then drugging Lyra.
Yes, which she doesn't do for much further.
Yeah.
Actually. almost the
Yeah.
next part I talk about, but still, it feels like farther in the book.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll stop there.
Okay. Before we get back to Lyra, though, we have Seraphina, and she goes to find York, and she cries and lets him know she wasn't quick enough, and Lee died, and she's so sorry, but she put his body under a spell so that he's preserved until York goes and sees him. And York goes, and on his way, he eventually gets, like, after a long time, he gets there, and he hasn't eaten for days, and he's so hungry and cold. He says goodbye to his friend, and then he eats Lee. I was like, what the heck? He's like, my friend would have wanted this for me.
Nom.
He's like, Lee would have wanted me to have food. I'm like, okay.
I guess. That part does not happen in the show.
Thank goodness. Well, now we're with Lyra. And the little girl that brought Mrs. Coulter food went to their local shaman.
There you go.
And she tells about this little boy. She's trying to cover up that it's not Lyra. This little boy needs help because he's under a trance and all this sort of stuff. And he gave her medicine and he said, you better come back and tell me the truth, because he knew she was lying. So she quickly goes to the cave, excited to give the healing potion, but they're not there. She goes in. She's like, oh my gosh, it'll be so awesome if I heal her. And then what a good surprise. But before she can do that, she has to hide because they're coming back. And she can just sense something's off. And she watches from the corner, and Lyra begins to wake up. And when she did, they forced a potion down her throat to make her go back to sleep. And she fought really hard, and she's like realizing, oh my gosh, these guys are crazy. And once they were asleep, she was able to sneak out and told her family what's happening.
The only part that happens in that is the deaf girl sees that Mrs. Coulter poisons Lyra.
Yes. So our angel friend went and found Lord Asriel, and on his way, he was trapped by the entrance of wherever they were by these watcher demon things. I don't know what they were, like monsters. And they're the magisterium's little guards. And so they brought him down and basically hurt him and everything. But he was brought to Lord Asriel as soon as he was found by Lord Asriel's people. And he tells them about Lyra and Will and all this sort of other stuff. And, but he died because of his injuries.
That does not happen. But in the TV show, Lord Asriel is like running around trying to get people on his side. And he gets to someone named Ogunwe. And Ogunwe tells him how his daughter was taken by the magisterium.
The angel does die, but I don't know if he dies from like creatures or...
No, he died. Someone shot him because they thought he was a magisterium person.
Okay, so one of Asriel's people shot him.
I actually think a witch did.
Okay. Well, he died, is the point.
Yeah. He died in a very different way, and not with like... He did tell them about the magisterium some, but not quite like he did in the book.
Right. Okay, so we're following all these religious leaders now, and they're talking about Lyra. And one said that he's done penance, and he's ready to commit this sin because it needs to be done, which is killing Lyra. And he was like, yes, go and search for a woman to help lead him to where she is, which is, what's her name? Mrs. Coulter.
What's her name?
What's her name? Well, that one lady.
That one lady we've been talking about for the past 2 episodes.
Right.
Whatever. That does not happen.
It does not. Okay. So one of her little snippets that Lyra's doing in her dreams is she's talking to Roger, who's convinced her, like, hey, we're in the land of the dead. We're done. I'm not even going to, like, it's it. That's it. And she's like, no, Will's coming. He's going to save us. And he's like, fine, Will save you, but he doesn't know me. And she's like, no, I assure you he will.
That does happen.
Yes. So now we're with Mary, and she's...
Which I should say...
Go for it.
Remember how we talked about in episode 2, how Will's story started like 3 or 4 episodes before the end of season 1?
Yes.
Well, that's the same damn thing that happened with Mary. Mary's story happens about 3 or 4 episodes towards the end of season 2.
Yes, it did. So we got Mary. She's exploring her little new world, and she's looking around. She sees a bunch of different creatures and a bunch of different plants, and she's all like interested, sciencey Mary. And she sits under a tree and takes out a little pod that she saw. But then all these creatures come, and they're freaking out, but they try to communicate with her. But they end up just like kind of repeating what she says, and like they're trying to learn each other's language. They're like elephant-looking creatures.
Yeah, I picture them as elephants, but they're like aardvark-looking zebras.
I know,
things.
But I was glad that it was closer than I was convinced I was picturing them wrong. So I was like, oh, I didn't picture them too far off.
In the TV show, Mary goes on fucking adventures when she goes through the slit. She like is in the town where Lyra and Will were, and she finds the 2 girls whose brother died, and she helps get them to their parents. And then she like does a whole bunch of other shit before she finds these animals. Yep. And I feel like she finds these animals towards the end of season 3.
Yeah, it was maybe in the middle. So they were there for a little bit, but yeah,
it was not. Yeah.
Start.
I convinced myself when I was watching the show, I was like, oh my God, I just ignored her whole story. So when you just said that, I was like, nope, I didn't. I was right.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right. So, okay. Will is walking around with his angel, and his angel's heartbroken, like literally like so sad because he can feel that his soulmate just died. And they have to play pretend though because people are coming, so he pretends to be a demon, and they're walking around, and they walk to this like these Russians' house, and they're talking to him.
Was spooky sounding.
They're talking to him, and they let him know these there's bears and witches. We don't like bears and witches because they're just evil. And before he leaves, he makes Will take a shot of whiskey, and Will's like, I'm never drinking again after that. And as he's leaving, there's this commotion outside in town, and bears are attacking. And turns out the bears just wanted fuel, but the townspeople are like, no, we don't deal with bears, and it's just bad business. And so Will decides he's going to play a trick on this bear. And he's like, hey, I'll battle you. If I win, then you have to go, but you can get fuel and just be gone. Like, deal with it. And the bear, the bear is like, fine, let's do it. He's like, but it's unfair because you're an armored bear. So give me a piece of your armor and we'll go from there. So this bear gave him his helmet, and Will took the knife out and they like cut it like butter. It was super easy. And the bear's like, oh man, I cannot battle you. That knife is too good. And so he's like, fine, you win. And so the people had to give the bear fuel, but then the bears just had to leave. And he went over there and sneakily spoke to the bear, and turns out it was Yorick. And he's like, I'm trying to find Lyra. I need passage on a ship. And Yorick's like, absolutely, I will help you find Lyra.
So the second half of that happens, and I can't remember how or why he finds Yorick in the show.
It was kind of the same thing.
Was it?
Yeah, but he did not go to the
Russian person's house.
Yeah, he didn't do that part. But he did go in a little town, and there was this commotion happening. And
oh, yeah, I do remember that. Him and the angel were there, and they then got led to Yorick.
Yes. So Will was permitted to ride the passage because Yorick really wanted to see that knife. He also wanted to help Lyra and all this sort of stuff. So once they were on their way, he showed him, and Yorick was fascinated because he knew metalwork, and he knew how important, like how impressive it was that this knife was created. And when they got to where they were going, the bears disappeared. He sent his bears on their way, and then him and Will started trekking to the Himalayas, which is where Lyra is.
Yeah, that pretty much happens.
I think so.
Yeah.
So Lord Asriel and the Magisterium were on their way as well. They're all trying to find Lyra, and those two knew whoever got there first had the advantage. The only difference is that the Magisterium didn't care if they killed Lyra on the way out, whereas Lord Asriel wanted to keep her alive. So he was really hoping he got there first. I don't remember him going after her. He didn't really care about her.
Yeah, correct. Correct. There's a part that's different when he does care about them.
Yeah.
But I'll tell about that difference when we get there.
Okay. So Mary's chatting it up with these creatures, and they figure out how to communicate with each other. And she's helping them make their little town. And they're pretty obsessed with these little seed pods. And one day she noticed these ships coming, and she realized they're not ships. They're huge birds. And they came and destroyed all the seed pods, which is everything they've been working towards. And then they just leave. She promised she would help them rebuild, but they let her know this is pretty much all we have left, and now it's gone. I still don't remember what's important about the seed pods. So Will made it up to the cave, and he spoke to the little girl. I know, I was like, Wiggle. Wiggle made it up to the cave.
He did.
Oh my gosh, I swear.
And then he spoke to Pharma.
Okay, well, he spoke to the little girl, and the little girl brought him the medicine and like let him know what's happening. And so he went in and he addressed Mrs. Coulter. And she's very good at convincing him that she's on the good side and she's trying to help Lyra, and she feels so bad and what a bad mom she's been. She wants to fix it and everything like this. And he's like, okay. And he shook her hand and left. And then he went and saw his angel, and he's like, she's lying. But he's now like fixated and thinking about her all the time. And so he's kind of in this stuck mentality moment.
Everything except for him being fixated on her happens.
So there are messages between the fleets that like we get like the Magisterium side, then we get the Lord Asriel side, like as they're going on. And one side obviously wants to keep Lyra safe. The other side wants to chop her head off. It's like just nonsense. And then Will is going and he's like, okay, so here's what the plan is. I'm going to cut a portal. We're going to step in and we'll be in her little cave. I'm going to get Lyra and we'll leave. And the little girl was like, I'm going to help too. And he's like, no, you're not. And she's like, yes, I am. And so he said, fine. And then also we get this little scene of this little dragonfly being born. And this little person helping the little dragonfly out of the cocoon.
Are you sure it's not a little weird?
Yes, they rode dragonflies. They didn't have wings.
Oh, yeah. It was the little
That was a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you now. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a difference.
That's a difference. And the chick doesn't help him. The little girl
No,
doesn't.
I don't think so. I don't think so. You're
No.
right. I was so mad. I thought it would have been so cute for them to ride little dragonflies. Instead, they were little dragonflies.
They were
weren't
dragonflies themselves. Yeah, they had their own wings.
Yes. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. So Will got Alma, who was the little girl. I think that was her name. Maybe. They're about to go through to get Lyra, and they're being sneaky, but Mrs. Coulter wakes up pretty quickly. And Will gets distracted, and he's thinking about his mom because Mrs. Coulter said something about his mom, and he turns the knife to like slice a thing to leave, and his knife breaks. And then they hear helicopters, and this whole battle starts because the two fleets, Asriel and Magisterium, are there. And Lyra kind of wakes up. She's a little groggy, but Will takes her. Mrs. Coulter is trying to explain that they're trying to get her out of there safely, but Will doesn't trust her. So he kind of just takes her, takes Lyra and gathers up all the knife pieces and boots it out of there. But before he leaves, the little dragonfly people stung Mrs. Coulter, and she like fell on the ground, appearing dead.
Okay, so I realized there was also a difference in the first scene with Will and Mrs. Coulter before he leaves. Mrs. Coulter is trying to get him to stay with them because he has the knife, so she knows that he is a asset and that Asriel wants him. And she's like the way to like protect them. Also, she is aware of the Adam and Eve prophecy where Lyra is the new Eve and Will is most likely her new Adam. And so she's like, if I'm watching them, they can't fall to sin. And so she's just trying really hard to get Will to stay with them. And so when Will breaks the knife, it's because he's thoroughly confused. Like, what the fuck? Like,
right.
What are you doing? And then the dragonfly does not sting Mrs. Coulter.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I thought, didn't she just bash her own head?
She like felt like poisoned somehow because she was like convulsing.
When did she bash her own head? With the rock?
Yeah. She did that when she was in the Magisterium clutches already.
Okay.
Yeah. So coming up here.
Okay.
Yes.
Never mind.
Okay. So they go, and they're with these two dragonfly spy things, and they're going to find Yorick. And they decide, you know what? we're all going to be kind to each other. Like, we'll let each other know what's happening and everything like this, even though the dragonfly people are like, we have to go to Lord Asriel. And Will is like, we have to find Yorick. And Lyra's also like, we have to find Yorick. So they're like, fine, we'll just go do that. And so they're going to go do that. And while they eventually find Yorick, and they're talking about the knife and how it broke and all sorts of things. Okay, but they kind of went away from the little dragonfly people because they don't know that the knife broke. And so they're telling them, hey, the knife broke, all these things, everything happened. And Yorick is like not too excited to fix the knife because the knife is powerful in bad ways. And so he tells Lyra to ask the lithiometer, and she does. And it's like, oh my gosh, the lithiometer doesn't even know. It thinks it's like sketchy, but in the end it said, yes, do it. And her and Will went and spoke in private, and they said, okay, we're not going to tell them that we're going to the land of the dead. They don't need to know that. But here's like what the plan is, because Lyra told Will the plan. And they're determined to see it through, even though the lithiometer said that they might die, but they got to do it.
That pretty much happens, yeah.
Yeah. There is only one dragonfly person in the show when there's supposed to be
true.
2, and I didn't like that.
That's true.
I thought they were cute to have little friends.
They drove me
Save
crazy,
money, I guess.
I was like, yeah, good.
So Will had to help Yorick make the knife or forge it, and it was really grueling. It took a lot out of him, and but they got it done. And so he said Yorick did not like making it, and he's not going to do it again. He felt more like a human making it than a bear, and that was not a feeling he wants to do. And he warned Lyra about the land of the dead and hopes she'll be safe, but if not, he's never going to see her again because bears don't go to the land of the dead. And dragonfly spies are not happy because they found out that, oh my gosh, we're going to the land of the dead. That is not the plan. And they're like, you can come with us or you don't have to, but this is what's happening.
Yep, that happens.
I'd be so annoyed if I was the dragonfly people. I'd be like,
I feel like everyone that crosses paths with these kids are like, okay, we're going to have to do it this way. And they're like, nah, we're going to do it this way.
Yeah. Or they say, yes, okay, we will. And then they do that part. And then they're like, wait, we're going to also do this.
But
I would be like,
actually,
I'd be like, we just did what you wanted. Now it's our turn.
I'd be like, God damn it, why are you so important? I'd kill you myself.
Oh my gosh. All right. So now we're with Mrs. Coulter, and she's been captured by Lord Asriel, and she's going on and on about how she loves Lyra and she feels so bad, how she treated her and all this sort of stuff. And Asriel could care less about Lyra. He's like, whatever, who cares? Like, we have a bigger thing going on here. And he's having this council meeting, and there are people in it, and they're upset. And like, he's so frustrated. He's like, who cares? Because people are pissed that Mrs. Coulter is there and listening in on this meeting. And he's like, who cares? She's in our possession now. She's not going anywhere. And she's talking to this little dragonfly spy. And at one point, Asriel has this helmet on, and his cat demon, his white leopard, snow leopard. Yeah, she has like this piece in her mouth. And based on their like cognitive telepathy. Do you know I have to stop and think? I'm like, telepathy. Every time I say that word now.
Telepathy.
That telepathy. Oh my gosh. So they are able to make the ship fly. And so he explains how it works. And immediately she shoves him off the ship, and her little monkey take over and they fly away. And he's like, yeah, that was my bad, but that's okay. Don't shoot her down. She's going to take us to Lyra. We're good. And the people are like, what?
That's not what happened in the show.
No.
So in the show, first she ends up going to the magisterium. Oh, no. Just kidding. That's just my next note. This part does happen where she is captured by Lord Asriel, and everyone's like, we don't want her here. But then they're like, oh, actually, it would make sense for her to be here. Let's do it. And then like this huge battle starts happening. And in that battle is when Mrs. Coulter goes to the what is it? The intention ship, where you have to be like you have to know your intention with the ship to be able to go with the ship. Yeah. And then Asriel does like, okay, you can go. But it's also at this point in time when one of the witches comes up and is freaking out about Will and Lyra.
Because there's an extra witch here that wasn't in the book.
Yeah. And then Asriel says that the witches need to go and get Will and Lyra. Whereas in the book, a little bit later in the book, actually quite a bit later in the book, he sends the witch to go get their demons, which also at this point, Will should have a fucking demon.
Will doesn't get a demon. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get his demon until the ship in the land of the dead.
Yeah. But I'm saying in the show when he's sending the witch to go get her, to get them.
Okay.
He's like, go save the kids. Go get the kids.
Got it. All right. Well, in the book, Will and Lyra come up with this plan. And Lyra asks the alethiometer if these dragonfly people are important. And it says, yes, you need to keep them around. Just, let them be. And follow the knife. It'll take you to the land of the dead. That's the right thing to do. So they agree and they go with the knife and they are trying to talk in private, but the dragonfly people won't let them. So they're like, hey, this is not okay. We promised that we'd go with you. We need to be on speaking, knowing what's happening terms. But they have this little device that they can shoot off to Lord Asriel at any moment to let him know what's going on. And so they agreed that they would give them this device so that they can't sneakily tell Lord Asriel messages. And so Lyra and then Will tell these dragonfly people what they're going to do. And Will cuts a portal in to get some food. But it's this really spooky little town. There are dead horses everywhere. And it's just not good. So they close it up and he cuts another portal, but it's really hard. It's really difficult to do. But eventually they are able to get through. And they're trying to avoid these bad guys that are coming. Oh, because they were in the other town. They were in the town that was the dead horses and everything, and then bad guys are coming. Mm-hmm. So that's what made them slice through a new town or a new portal. And they realize this is the same town, just now we're in the land of the dead because all these people that were dead in the last town are now ghosts in this town. And they're kind of even looking at dead bodies and they're realizing, oh my gosh, we're dead. And the people are freaking out and they're trying to leave and explore. And Lyra's we should stay here. It's getting darker out there. But there's not much they can do because they're just kind of wandering off. And this is when Lyra realizes, hey, we're in the land of the dead. We made it.
That's not really how it happens in the show. In the show, he just cuts it open and knows how to get there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's no secret.
They walk on in.
Dead land.
Yeah.
So Lyra and Will and everybody that's there knows that they need to find a place to take a break. They just get to a safe place. Because every time they talk to these people, these new dead people, they're freaking out. So they find this little place and they knock on this door and the person is so confused because they don't have their death with them. So great. Now, instead of having demons, now they have deaths. So Lyra is super smooth talker and explains, hey, you know what? I freaked out when I saw Will because he didn't have a demon, but this is kind of the same thing. Can we come in? And they said, yeah. And they said, just so you know, everybody has their death with them. It's just, you got to be willing to see it and it'll come when it's supposed to come. A little while later, the people's deaths come from outside and they were not intrusive at all. They kind of sat in the corners and just sat there and were minding their own business. And she started getting an argument with this little dragonfly guy about how dangerous this is. And she's like, I don't care. I'm going to save my friend Roger. And eventually, because she willed her death to come somehow, it came. And she's talking about going back home. And they're like, yeah, it's been many, many years before anyone has made it out of the land of the dead. She's like, we can do it.
So in the TV show, pretty much the majority of that happens except for the little dragonfly is not in there with them. Or if he is, he doesn't really argue with her.
Remember if he goes with him.
I don't think he does, but then I
don't
also kind of
think
vaguely
so.
remember him being on the back of the like pew thing, but I don't know if that was a different scene. So
Don't
I'm
remember.
not sure. But Lyra's talking to a bunch of the people to try and figure out, like, well, can I go and see Raja? Where's Raja? And then she talks to one of them, and that's how she wills her death to come, because she's basically like, I just need my death right now. Like, I'm willing to do this. So obviously I'm willing to die if necessary. So where's my damn death?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now we're with Mary, and she's helping these creatures out. And she saw these things, and she went back and shared with them, like, oh, I see, like, there's stuff over there. And they went back to look for it, and she couldn't see it anymore. So the little creatures are like, I know what we can do.
That does happen.
Yes. All right, so back to the land of the dead. And they're on this boat, and the boatman was like, sorry, your demon can't come. And Lyra's freaking out because she's like, that's not fair. Will says it's not fair because just because she can see her demon. And he's like, no, yours is going to boot out of you too. Sorry, this is not something we can negotiate. It cannot, you physically cannot go if your demon is there. And so it was super painful goodbye. But Lyra had to say goodbye to Pan, and like, they're sobbing because it hurts so bad. And eventually they got on the other side, and Lyra begs the boatman to please let Pan know how much she loves him and that they'll come back. And they're exploring the other side, and they met a harpy. I'll let you go first.
Yeah. Her goodbye with Pan did not feel like a goodbye.
In the book or movie?
In the show. Yeah, like, he felt very, like, almost more like a little kid that was just like, oh, why are you doing this?
I agree. He was throwing a fit. Like, I expected it. Like, I still cried, but I was expecting it to be more, both of them were broken down, sobbing, and gonna miss each other type of thing.
Yeah, whereas Pan was just pissed. Pan was like being a stubborn teenager, essentially. Basically like, you're choosing to leave me. And I'm like, okay, Pan, you have been with Lyra this whole damn time. You knew she wanted to go to fucking the land of the dead to get Roger. Like, you should have been prepared for this slightly. Right. So that frustrated me. Yeah. And basically Pan like turns away from her. She like is like, well, this is what I have to do. So then he just walks away from her. I was like, in the book, you were pretty fucking heartbroken about this, Pan. You weren't like, you're leaving me, so I don't care.
Yeah.
He does end up howling, but
yeah, that was sad.
I think for me that the saddest part of their goodbye in the show isn't even during their goodbye. It's when Lyra is on the boat and starts screaming on the boat. I was like,
that was sad.
Poor Lyra.
I know, that was sad.
And then Will, who doesn't even know his demon, starts feeling the pain too, and he just sits there like, huh?
Yes. Poor Will. All right. So they're in the next part of the land of the dead, and they meet this harpy. And it's trying to figure out who they are. And Lyra told lies. Like, oh, we're from these famous people, blah, 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 or rich people or whatever. And it attacks her and tears a chunk of her hair out. They were able to get away because Will used his knife. But it was like, that was a scary moment.
And it does not happen in the show.
Nope.
Land of the Dead, really, after reading it, I was like, what the fuck? Because, like, in the book, they're not allowed to touch the dead people, which makes sense. Like, you're alive.
It's like a ghost.
They're dead. But, whereas in the show, Lyra's hugging Roger, hugging Lee, touching everyone and everything she wants.
Yep. So Will and Lyra are like, Will's trying to calm Lyra down and like, the damage isn't bad. Like, you're okay. And they're trying to figure out what to do next. And these creatures or the ghosts or whatever, they come up to them, they're talking to them, and they're like, the harpies really are only interested in new creatures because they can torment them and they're scared of them. We're kind of like, whatever now because of this. And that's when the harpies come down and start flying. And Will realizes they're avoiding him. Like they're flying to scare him, but they're not touching him. Like I think it was an accident that they touched Lyra. And so she stood up and she wasn't scared and they didn't attack. And so the other ghost children are like, oh my gosh. Also, she was able to tell about Pan and they kept talking about their demons and they just missed life. And the little dragonfly flew off and found Roger. And Lyra said, you know what, Will, we got to save all these kids. Like, that's what I want to do. I don't want to just save Roger anymore. I want to save everyone. They're all sad. And then the chapter ends with it being like, it said some weird line that it made it seem like Will's going to die. It was like, he would never see, I don't even remember what it was, but it was like, and Will would never see this again or see this at whatever. So it's like, great, Will's gonna die.
Will's about
no,
to die.
He doesn't. Like, wait in the whole book,
hilarious.
and it's like, no, he didn't die. Why'd you make it seem like he's gonna die?
That's hilarious. I didn't even pick up on that because I knew.
Right.
So I realized the dragonfly does not go into town with them into the land of the dead with them because basically it's Lyra talking to other dead people. That is how she finds Roger, because basically word spreads and then that's how they find Roger.
Right. Yeah.
But then the rest of that did happen. Apart from the harpy part. Lyra was just always unafraid of them. So the harpies don't attack. So they don't really explain that to her.
Okay. So find Roger. Super stoked. Lyra's like, hey, this is what's happening. We're going to get you out, but we're going to get everybody out. Don't tell anybody. And she goes to Will, and he's having a really hard time finding a cut in the opening because he keeps cutting the world, and it just is like leading into dirt. And the harpies come out, and they're mad. They're like, you can't leave. You can't take our food. We were granted permission by whoever, the maker or whatever, to eat the, like, whatever, aroma or whatever of the dead people. And the lies or the stories is basically what their food is. And Lyra's talking with them and she's sharing her thoughts and they're listening and they're not getting angry. And she's like, why did you get mad before? They're like, because you told us lies. But they really like to hear the truth and stories. And it gives us nourishment. And she's like, interesting.
What's funny is in the TV show, they don't explain that it gives them nourishment. They just like the stories. So
I know.
She's like, let's start this little marching line. And this is how y'all are going to get out of here. And just make sure you keep telling your stories to the harpies.
Yep. So they come up with this plan. And they're like, what if creatures that come down here, they have to tell you their life, tell you truths and memories. You can feed off the memories. And then you take them out. And they're like, no, that doesn't give us a purpose. No, they don't take them out. They just feed on their memories and then they get to leave. And they're like, no, that doesn't give us a purpose. And the little dragonfly people are like, you know what? That totally makes sense. What if you escort them out? That's your purpose. And then you can hear their stories along the way. And they're like, okay, I like it. But if they lie, they don't get to leave. And they're like, okay, I mean, that's fair. If they're going to be bad in death, don't let them leave. And so they began their way out this little path that they're making. And this guy's like, this is stupid. We don't even know where we're going. We don't know what's going to happen to us. Why are we doing this? And so then people are like, yeah, who knows? And then Lyra read the lithiometer and it came back and says, yes, you're going to turn. Basically what's going to happen is you guys are going to turn into nothing. You're going to die like your demons did and just become dust instead of sitting here down in the underworld by yourself. And some were continuing. Some are like, no way. I like it down here. This is what the afterlife's all about. And Lyra couldn't figure it out why they would want that, but she's like, whatever. And she keeps going with all of it.
Pretty much. Oh, Lee is the one who's like leading her out. Lee is the one that's like,
yeah, he pops in real quick.
Yeah,
right
real
away.
quick. He's like, Myra, and then runs to her and hugs her, and he's like, I'll help you find a way out. And the rest of that doesn't really happen because the dragonfly's not in there. And Lyra comes up with a plan for the harpies to escort. And yeah.
Yep.
I will say, what were you going to say?
Nope. You're good.
At this point in the TV show, Mrs. Coulter has just been told that Lyra is dead. She's in the land of the dead. So Mrs. Coulter has this whole freak out where she's sobbing, goes to Asriel, is like, Lyra's dead. And he's like, what? And then I can't remember how they realize that they're not dead, but then they get told that they're not dead.
Yep, eventually.
Yeah, it takes a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it takes a long minute. Just kidding. I 2 notes
There's like
after
2 episodes.
that. Yeah. I have a note for how they find out that Lyra's not dead.
Okay.
So I'm glad I did that for myself.
Good. All right. Well, we're with Mrs. Coulter now in the book, and she's flying the little ship, and she gets to the magisterium, and she meets with the high priest, and they're chatting about like all this other stuff, and he sends her to bed. And then he tells one of his people, hey, you got to get that locket that is on Mrs. Coulter because it has Lyra's hair in it, because every time she talks about Lyra, she touches that locket. And sure enough, it did. And they got it, and they put it in this machine that is it's a bomb that like will travel through the worlds and the universe right at Lyra. Mrs. Coulter is awoken and realizes the locket's gone. Okay,
Ow.
so
He bit me.
so Mrs. Coulter realizes what their plan is. She goes to stop them, but they bind her up. She can't stop them. And her and her demon are like trying to like escape. And I think they have help from one of the magisterium that ended up not wanting to do that. And they kind of kerfuffle their way out of there, but the bomb still goes off.
This is what happens in the show, and then this is what makes Mrs. Coulter go, Lyra's dead.
Oh, so sad. All right. So we're with the little dragonflies, and their dragonflies are starting to die because they are kind of like the demons, and so, but they're not. But so they're like, they're not eating and all this sort of stuff. They're dying in the land of the dead. But then they hear this familiar voice, and it's Lee. And they turn around, and right next to Lee is Will's dad. And Will immediately let him know, or Will's dad immediately says, Will, cut somewhere, or cut a piece of Lyra's hair all the way to the top and throw it into a different world. And he did this, and immediately after, they felt this huge earthquake. And it was the bomb that went off, but it missed. It went into this other world. And they continue with their way out. And Lyra fell into this cavern, and she was gonna die, except that the harpy went down and saved her.
In the TV show, freaking Will's dad doesn't show up until they're basically leaving the land of the dead.
I was waiting for him the whole dang time.
I know. I was like, oh, he didn't get to talk to his dad. Oh, okay. I thought he did. He does, just at the very end of their little escapade. And so this part does happen, just not the hair part. Lyra just falls in a chasm, and then the harpy saves her.
Yep.
And there's like this, or no, they have to jump across the chasm to get to the other side or something like that. And she misses, and the harpy saves her.
I think she made it. I think it was a different part, but I don't remember. I don't know.
They had to jump over chasms quite often.
I know. Oh, gosh. All right. So they finally get to the exit, but right before they go out, Will's dad and Lee agree that they're going to stay back in like land of the dead, ghost lives, and they're going to help fight off specters, that this battle that is about to go off. And Will's dad let them know, oh, by the way, I just want you to know this. You can only survive in your own world. Like, your demon will start to die if it's in a different world for too long. That's why he was pretty much dying by the time Lee found him. His demon was really, really sick. And so after all of this is said and done, they need to come back to the land of the dead for one more thing. And they're like, yep, okay, we'll do that. And they looked at Roger, and they let Roger go through first, and he had just pure happiness on his face before he dissolved into dust like his demon did.
Well, that does not happen because Lee is the first one that goes through.
Yeah, I was pissed. I was like, so you're not going to help fight? Like, what the heck?
I think Will's dad does, though, at least, right? Or am I crazy?
I don't remember. I was too.
I think he does, because Will's dad, the weird thing about Will's dad is like he's off in a cave.
Yeah,
and so like that's where yeah. In the show he's just off in a cave somewhere, and I'm pretty sure he stays behind. And I don't think he's the one that tells Will about staying in other people's worlds. I think the angel, or no, Serafina tells them that later on in the TV show.
Yep.
So Yeah.
Okay. So Mary had like this out of body dream, and she's freaking out because eventually she went back into her body and like grasped this like spyglass.
Can we also talk about the spyglass in the TV show?
Yeah, I didn't even talk about her making it. She like painted this like over and over and over again. She like had to full on make this spyglass. Didn't she just find it in the TV show?
No, they made it. They made it
Oh,
in the
okay.
TV show too. It's just that it was kind of quick and not this like long drawn out thing. Also, tell me why when I thought spyglass, I thought like pirate telescope.
Me too.
So then in the TV show when she picks up a fucking mirror, it's like,
yes.
Hold on, what the hell is a spyglass?
I thought the same thing. Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't think that's what a spyglass is, TV show.
Nope.
And like how inconvenient to carry around this big piece of glass to have to look through to see the dust.
Yep. So that's what she was doing. She was looking through it, seeing dust. And then there's this priest that shows up in her land. And he the birds that had gone and gotten the like pods earlier, he like shot one in the head. And the bird's like, okay, we don't mess with this priest. Because he's looking for Lyra. No. Yes, he's looking for Lyra.
Yes. That happens at the very end of the TV show.
Yep.
And Mary really only uses the glass once Will and Lyra are with her.
Yep, pretty much. All right, so Lord Asriel's talking to all his people about everything that's going on, and then he sees this whirlwind of angels coming. And they talk about Lyra, and they're getting information about how she's in the land of the dead, but she's alive, and their demons are separated. So Lord Asriel says it's important that we make sure the demons keep them safe, because if the demons die, Lyra dies. And the creator wants these demons to control Lyra. And so he goes and he talks with Mrs. Coulter, because she ended up going back to him, or he got to her. No, she went back to him after she fought off the Magisterium. And they're acting like they're about to get a little frisky, but Mrs. Coulter grabs her gun, but then they're interrupted because the demons have been spotted. And Lord Asriel runs out telling his people what to do. And she's like, darn.
So in the TV show, Lord Asriel goes and has to find Yorick for some reason. I think he's trying to still get more and more people to join his cause. And Yorick, he says something about Lyra and Lyra being dead. And Yorick like, she's not dead. She's just in the land of the dead. Like, what? And Asriel's like, what? And he's like, no, she's just going to help the dead. And he's like, I think the TV show does a really good job at showing, like, Asriel does care about his daughter. He's just a dick. So he shows it in the most horrible ways. And I think the TV show, it's easier to show it on the face of someone who's being told that his daughter's doing something cool, right? Like, you can see the pride in him when he's like, oh, cool, my kid's still alive. Whereas in the book, it's just like, Lyra's dead. Okay, well, we still have to focus on this. Like, we're in the middle of a war. Like, let's go.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about this part. I'm so glad I took a note of this. Once he finds out that Lyra and Will's demons have been spotted, Asriel's like, send our army. Let's go get those demons. And Seraphina is the one who jumps in and is like, actually, I should just go and get them, not a fucking army.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, Will and Lyra, now that they've done their duty and everybody who wanted to go is in the world as dust now, they're in search for their demons. They sliced open the world and they're immediately thrown into a battle. Lee and Will's dad are like, all right, let's do it. And they're like pumped and to start battling. And so everyone's battling, and Will and Lyra can feel the specters, which means they know their demons are close, and they're looking and they feel nauseous, like their demons are in trouble. So they're trying to find them real good if that happened.
It doesn't happen. No. No. And basically Lyra and Will, once they get out, are like, our demons are going to be upset at us. So we'll let them come and find us when they're ready. Like, what?
Oh, woe is us.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Coulter is talking to Metatron, or the god, or whatever, the creator, his name, whatever.
Mhm.
And he used to be Enoch, which is the 6th generation away from Adam. And the creator told him to basically put a bad prophecy out on women because of Eve. So he hasn't had a wife in forever. And Mrs. Coulter is like trying to get with him. It seems like she's all flirty and everything. But he's like, bring me to Lord Asriel. I need your daughter. And she said, absolutely, we will do that. And this point in the book, I'm like, what the fuck? Are we serious right now? I was so mad at her.
Yeah. In the TV show, she makes this like crazy weird bridge thing, and that's how she gets to Metatron. But then Asriel sees her and is pissed, and so he goes down and goes into the thing as well.
Mrs. Coulter is on a ship. I imagine them on a ship wherever Enoch is, and she's all flirting with him. And
I think Enoch is supposed to be in that like weird building thing that she went into in the show.
Okay, so that part is right. I imagine them on a ship going to Lyra.
I kind of, I think there are definitely differences here, but I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. So she's saying how she's going to turn on her daughter and Lord Asriel, and she's so excited and loves Enoch. And sneakily, Lord Asriel is there, and she sees him and goes to him, and like, this is all part of the plan to distract Enoch, and it works. And they both go and attack Enoch, and this huge battle breaks out, and they're starting to lose. But she smashes a rock on Lord Asriel's head. Why does she do that? And he's about to pass out, but he's still fighting. Oh no, the Enoch does.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Coulter like hugs him and pins his wings down, and they fall off into the abyss, and they're all dead.
Well, actually, because Mrs. Coulter and her demon don't have to be in the same spot, her demon stays on the other side and closes the bridge. So then the spot where Mrs. Coulter, Asriel, and Metatron are at disappears. And Lyra and Will get to the spot where everything is happening just in time for Lyra to see her mother's demon go away.
So she knows what happened.
Yep, she does.
Well, they fought off these cliff monsters, Lyra and Will, with the help of... Actually, I don't know if they had help. In the show, they had help. And, can we talk about before Mrs. Coulter died in the show, how she did this huge, like, magical scream, and it killed all the specters?
Because the specters came in to kill everyone in Asriel's thing.
And she's stood up there and she goes, ah, and like, she's this huge scream, and they all die. I was like, okay, I guess.
It's because she's a witch.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh my gosh, whatever.
In the TV show, at least.
Yes. So they're going through this huge battle, and they're trying to find Pan and this little cat demon. And finally, they get to Yorick, and they climb on him, and he's running. And then he hears Lee, and he's shocked. And Lee and Will's dad are beating everything up. And they get to the woods, and the specters are there, and they're charging through these specters before they get caught. And if they know that their demons are in there.
Part does not happen. Basically, we don't see Yorick for the rest of the show after Asriel.
So they had to go through this rift, and Pan and Will's demon weren't there, and they feel detached like they did in the Land of the Dead. And they see these creatures coming, because now they're in Mary's land. And or they don't feel detached. They feel like their creatures are there, or their demons are there, they're just far away. And so these creatures come that Mary's been talking to this whole time, and they're like on wheels. And Lyra uses the lithiometer and determines they're safe, and they bring them to Mary, and they were all taking care of each other. And the next morning she's like, I have to go, there's something going on, but feel free to just stay about here. And Mary goes off, and it turns out it's dust. It's all the ghosts from the Land of the Dead coming out, and like they can see all the dust becoming in the world. Yes, just like that.
That does happen.
Yeah. So Mary and Will and Lyra are like updating each other on life, and Will asked Mary about if it was hard leaving being a nun. She's like, yes and no. Like, she didn't believe it anymore, so that was easy. But she, that was her life and custom, and she knew people would be disappointed. But she fell in love with this guy, and she realized she wanted love, and that's what made her leave.
In the TV show, it was a woman that she fell in love with. But other than that, the rest of that does happen.
Will and Lyra are looking out for Pan and Will's demon, and they're out there. They're kind of like taking it slowly, and then they realize they love each other. And as they're looking around, one of the magisterium starts coming, and he's going to kill them. But the angel that was with Will this whole time, but left at some point, comes and he took the guy out.
Yes, that does happen.
Mm-hmm. Serafina Pekkala came and talked with Pan and Will's demon. She gave Will's demon a name. I don't remember what it was, but
something crazy that I was like, why are demons' names always like Pantalaimon, Stella Maria? Like, why can't it just be Joe? Yes, exactly. So, as those guys are talking, they continue. No, Will and Lyra are out, and then she goes and talks to Mary. Serafina does, and she let Mary know that they are going to have to figure out a whole lot of stuff. And Will and Lyra are in love now, but this is a real bummer because some things are about to happen that's going to suck for them. And the next day, Will and Lyra woke up, and their demons rejoined them, and they let them know what's going on. And basically, anytime a rift, like they cut into a world, dust was escaping. So that's not good. They can't do that anymore. And because the more they do that, their dust is going to be gone and there's going to be no joy in the world. But every time they make a cut, a new specter comes to eat someone's demon. So really, they really can't do that. And both of them are heartbroken because they realize they can't live in the same world as each other because their demons are going to die. And so they have to basically say goodbye to each other. And they're just so sad. So the timeline of this doesn't happen right exactly like this, but it does happen in the show.
Yes. And they're like sobbing and they're like 12 years old. Can we just say that?
Yeah. In the show, they're definitely teenagers.
Yeah, they are. They're much older in the show. But I was like, yeah, you guys are 12 and you keep making out. This is extremely inappropriate.
Yes.
Mr. Pullman, what are you writing?
Yeah. I like when I got to that part, I was like, watching it makes sense because they're teenagers. So, of course, absolutely, they just went through a bunch of crazy shit. Yeah. That's going to end up being their first love. But in the book, it just felt like they were best friends. Then all of a sudden, we're into each other hardcore.
Let's make out all the time.
And I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you.
Oh, my gosh. So an angel came and
Miss Lyra Will, whatever his last name is.
Yes. An angel came.
And then they come up with this plan to like, we'll never be with another. I'm always going to think about you. And always come to this one spot. Yeah. I was like, girl, you can find someone else. He can find someone else. You'll get over it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So an angel came and they spoke to the angel about everything that was happening. She let them know, yeah, this sucks, but you know what? You can work hard. Oh, because Lyra can't read the alethiometer anymore. She was like granted that gift during the need and now she can't read it anymore. And so they cut Will's world open and they went into it. And Lyra brought him to the gardens, or they cut Lyra's world open. It was Lyra's world in the show.
Yeah.
Right?
It was hers because she wanted to show him because he hadn't been to her place yet. So she was like, come see my Oxford.
Okay. And then she brought him to this bench. And she's like, every year, midsummer day, in the middle of summer, we're going to sit at this bench and we'll be like, we're with each other. And Mary had agreed with Serafina had asked her to keep an eye on Will, and that's what happened. And so then life happened, and Lyra went back to her Jordan college, and she's invited to this new school, which was a girls' school. And her and Pan are like, okay, this is all right. This is life now.
She doesn't get invited to school. Basically, once we get the whole bench thing, we see that they do life, and then they come back together a year later to sit on that bench.
Year after year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's it.
We finished the dark
whole
materials.
Series.
His dark materials.
Yes. All right. We have Will Keane, played Father President MacPhail.
He's good. He's creepy.
He was creepy. He was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Jade Anuka played Ruda. She was the witch that was not really there in the book.
Oh, yeah. She was fine. She did good
She
for what she was.
Yep. Alex Hassel played Metatron.
He was really good. He was a good spooky dude.
He was. It's just like, it was such an anticlimactic. Like,
it really was. There's supposed to be like
quick.
this, like, it was supposed to be this, like, if he's such a big bad guy, how is he taken down so easily?
I know. And in one episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
In like the last part of the episode too. Like we don't see him this whole time. We finally see him.
But that wasn't the show's fault. That was how it was written in the book too. It was like he's barely there. And then we got
what's funny is my notes do not have these people.
I know, because I remembered him as we were talking.
Okay.
Adewale and Akinoyu Agabaje. Dude, I'm so sorry. He played that one guy that was
Ogunwe?
Yeah.
Well, he was good. I enjoyed him. Although he's a random character again.
Yeah, he's random. Oh my gosh. Do we need the
I forgot to talk about the random fucking Voldemort looking dude in the random square thing after Metatron's taken out. You don't remember?
No.
In the TV show, after Metatron is taken out, Will and Lyra are like walking around the camp that Asriel had, and there's this random like block that's in the middle of it. So, and they see that someone's trapped in there, so they walk up to it and use the knife to cut it. And there's a Voldemort shrunken dude who's in there, who then turns to dust.
Yeah, it was weird.
I think it was supposed to be Metatron, but when that's not in the book, and there's no correlation for it at all. Like, if that was her Metatron, where the fuck are her parents? Why aren't her parents in there?
Yeah. And the weird part was they kind of just looked at each other and were like, okay. And then, like, we're done with it.
We're like,
okay.
Yeah. No, I hated that part.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right. Kobana, Holdbrook Smith, Balthamos he was one of the angels.
He was really good. I liked him a lot.
He was good too.
Mm-hmm.
Simon Harris was Baruch, the other angel that died.
He did good.
And Simone Kirby played Mary.
She was really good. I liked her a lot in this.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure I was going to, but I did. Is the theme of the book and movie the same?
Yeah.
Hmm? Do the characters stay true to how they're written?
I think so. I don't think there was anyone that went off.
No one that I could think of that shocked me. And what do you prefer?
Prefer the show.
I do as well. Why?
Because again, the book just feels so like haphazardly thrown into the story, whereas the TV show actually links it to what has happened already.
Yeah. I don't know. It was visually appealing. I think there was parts that I was like, why didn't they do it that way? Or like when Pan, the way Pan reacted when she left him.
Yeah.
Or
I guess there's our character that didn't stay true to themselves.
That's true.
Pan, but we say that in all of these.
Yeah. And so there's bits and pieces, but overall I would watch the show again, but I'm not sure if I would read the book again. Like, I'm not upset that I read it, but I don't think I would pick it up and read it again.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Plus James McAvoy. I love James McAvoy so much.
I know.
He's my favorite. Yeah.
Would you recommend it to a friend?
Yeah, I would. It's enjoyable. Like I've said, like book and movie, but I think kind of like you, book is good for a one and done type of thing.
Yeah. Say you did it and be done with it.
Yeah.
For sure. Okie dokie. We got some sneak peeking for you. Well, we have a website.
Yeah, you should check it out. Allie put in so much work to it.
I tried. This website went offscript.com.
While you're there, you should subscribe to us. Give us some ratings. Go ahead and leave some reviews. We would love it. That would help us out so much.
Totally. It really, really would.
While you're
And-
at it, because this is also a YouTube video, you should maybe like and subscribe and comment down below.
Yes. And you guys, if you go on the website, all the way at the bottom, it has all of our links to our socials: Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, and whatever the new one you sent me was.
Substack.
Yes. Whatever that
Substack?
is. What is that?
It's basically like one of the old school blog websites, but it's newer.
Oh, cute. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you can go down there, do all that, all the fun stuff, merch. You can donate. You can do all the things. So Wednesday, we may have a mini-sode for you.
I'm hoping that we'll start recording like next Monday. I hope that we can start recording minisodes. So
Perfect.
fingers crossed.
And Monday, we have Warm Bodies for you.
Yeah, everybody, come and listen to that episode. It's gonna be fun.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think so. Should be good.
Mhm.
And with that, His Dark Materials. Nope. I did that last time too. Oh wait,
That is right.
yes.
It's season
just
3.
kidding.
It's not. So say season
Yeah,
3
I'll
instead
just.
of.
I've got this now.
Okay.
His Dark Materials, season 3.
When off script.
Bye.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, we would greatly appreciate it if you gave us 5 beautiful stars, reviewed, and subscribed.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Offscript, on Instagram at Offscript Podcast 21, and on TikTok at Offscript_pod.
Shoutouts to Madame Shen Creations for our adorable logo art,
And Adam Daniel for our incredible theme song.
and to Creative Cinephile Productions for producing our podcast. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Serena.
And I'm Rachel.
We're the hosts of Book Tales,
If you like reading books
drinking cocktails,
and Scottish accents,
then meet your new favourite podcast.
come with us as we explore different themes from romantasy to horror and everything in between.
We pair each book with a bespoke cocktail and tell you everything you'll need to make one.
And each week, play our fun game tailored to each book.
Find Book Tales wherever you get your podcasts. So grab your book
Grab your booze
for Book Tales.